Welcome back. Albert Einstein said the world is a dangerous place, not because of those who do evil, but because of those who look and do nothing. Now, we're reminded of that with the headlines that greeted us this morning. Think about these headlines. Kazakhstan sets state of emergency as fuel protests spread. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson, time is running out for the Iran talks. Iranian foreign minister says Israel has no place in the world's future. Yet 2 drone attacks in 24 hours targeting U.S. forces in Iraq. China pledges to continue its modernized nuclear arsenal. And North Korea launches unidentified missiles into waters. And then there's this NATO-Russian talk set on Moscow's Ukraine border troop buildup. And one for the road, Islamic State poised for more attacks in Syria in 2022. Now, of course, America has been predominantly had the job of stopping evil around the world, but are we still up to the task? Joining me now, former USS Cole Commander Kirk Lippold. Commander, you know, I ask that in a way, 2 ways really, in terms of us being up to the task. Morally, as an obligation, I think most Americans now do not see why we should continue to make these kind of sacrifices. But even if we did, can we defend the world anymore?
Well, on that happy list there, Happy New Year's, Charles. And I think that right now what you're seeing now more than ever is the need for U.S. global leadership. And it is going to take a bold step forward to be able to do that. I think the main reason you see a lot of Americans today unwilling or not wanting to be engaged in a worldwide basis is because they don't understand the threats that are out there. In the days of Ronald Reagan and the Soviet threat, we used to put out a book called Soviet Military Power. And quite frankly, that served as a basis to have discussions on what kind of defenses do we need, what kind of military do we need, what kind of engagement do we need worldwide. And we probably need something like that to really start explaining to the American people, who I believe are incredibly and intuitively smart about what goes on in the world, why we need to stay engaged globally, why it's in our national security interest, and what we need to do that economically, militarily, and also telling the world why it's important to be the global leader that we should be.
So on that note, many are saying Russian invasion rather of Ukraine is inevitable, no matter how many meetings and talks are held. So what are your thoughts? Do you think it's going to happen?
I think it's growing in probability. I mean, I just found out today from one of my sources that the Russians actually have Spetsnaz, which are military intelligence units inserted and operating out of safe houses in the capital of Kyiv. They're providing targeting data. They're providing movements on what is going on with the government. They're already in country right now. So to say that they're waiting for an invasion isn't going to happen. But Putin's also smart. He's playing a game of chess, and hopefully we're not playing the game of checkers. Well, when you really look at it, he is sitting there saying, I'm not going to do anything until springtime. The Russians learned a hard lesson in World War II, as did the Germans, and fighting in wintertime is not the smartest thing to do. The worst thing we can have is that collusion between Russia and China where they'd move at the same time. Russia into Ukraine and China toward Taiwan.
Yeah, that's a nightmare scenario. Commander, I wish we had more time. I went a little long with Larry Kudlow. Happy New Year to you, and always appreciate your expertise on all of these things.
Thank you, Charles. Happy New Year to you, too. Despite the challenges we face, we can still be that global leader.
I believe it, too.